A T-square is two squares joined by an opposition. A square, as you may recall, is a 90-degree angle formed between two planets in different zodiac signs in the sky. This is known as a combative aspect, a combative relationship between the two planets, because the square is of the nature of Mars. Basically, a square describes a one-upmanship that's going on between the two planets involved. So we have two squares that are taking place, which, as you can imagine, sounds pretty combative, and then they're joined by an opposition. An opposition is basically two planets that are as far away as they can be from one another on the zodiacal wheel. An opposition, basically, is polarized camps. My favorite example these days is the United States Congress. The Democrats and the Republicans have nothing to do with one another, absolutely. So what happens with a polarization is a complete breakdown in any sort of cooperation. It's not even fighting. It's just they're at opposite ends and they're not going to talk to one another. So when you combine this idea of two squares being joined by an opposition, you'll see that it creates the letter T in the sky, or the letter T on the zodiacal circle. And that's why it is called a T-square. So how do we break down a T-square in order to make sense of it? I mean, one looks at the configuration and one might say, oh, you have a T-square involving these three planets. And the person's like, okay, what does that mean? What we need to do here is take a closer look. We need to break down the T-square into its components so that we can begin to examine and appreciate the different dynamics that are involved. The first question I always ask myself when I'm looking at a T-square in an astrological chart is, what kind of a T-square is it?